Welcome all to Walking the Weird. My name is Tyler, and with me, as always,
It's Sean.
and apparently, he's here to bring us a happy story.
So happy.
Do you believe him? I don't.
The happiest.
Is there an ending?
Yes. Yes,
That's
there is.
that's a first.
There is an ending. I'm very proud to say that
Oh,
there is
good,
an
good.
ending.
So when we shut it off, we're not. I'm not confused for a week.
No, you're still gonna be confused.
Oh, great.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
confused.
Why?
There's an ending, but there's no like motive.
Oh, cool. So first you don't tell me the end of the story. Now you're not gonna tell me the beginning of the story. Awesome. Thank you.
There's really no beginning of the. You know what? Let me just get into it. All right. It's the killing of Tim Mclean. Um,
Does he happen to know a lightning? Never mind.
or a Mister. he the illustrious son of Mister Clean himself.
He was a heir of the McLeans.
No. Seriously, we should be way more
Yeah,
respectful.
Oh,
because
is it really really bad?
yeah, no,
Oh.
it's bad. It's bad.
Oh.
I read the story and I was like, oh my god, it changed the way I travel. Let me just put it to you this way. So we're gonna do a little bit of background on this guy, on the perpetrator named Vincent Lee. So Vincent Lee was born on, and these are just clip notes. He was born on April 30th, 1968, in Dan Dong. I'm sorry, I almost said Dang Dong. Dan Dong,
Ding dong, got it.
China. It's really like very little is really known. He was kind of a nobody. He worked and graduated from the Wuhan Institute of Technology. As we've all seen, we've had issues with Wuhan before, but we'll save that for another day.
Oh,
And he acquired a
God.
job as a computer software engineer. Hollering at you, you know, psychos stick together. He ended up moving to Canada,
Oh, God.
in 2001. So if you know why he went crazy, Canada.
That's like one fail after the
Yeah,
other.
dude, this guy has made poor choices all the way through, like all the way through. Anyway, so he went over in 2001, and he obtained his Canadian citizenship in 2006, and then Lee was institutionalized sometime before gaining his citizenship after being found by police officers following the sun. Um,
Wait, SUN or SON?
SUN, thankfully.
Oh,
Something he claimed that God told him to do.
maybe if he had like kept looking at it, he wouldn't
He
have
would have
done
just,
what he
yeah.
did.
I mean, he might have still done it. It would have been a lot more. Well, anyway, we'll get into the story. What?
What happened at noon?
Prudent. Just,
Did
just
you
stop.
stay still?
Yeah, he ran up. Anyway, so so he was found by officers following the sun. He claimed that
As you
God told
do.
him to do it, as you should. Everyone should chase the sun at least one point. And at some point, he married a woman named Anna. That didn't last long. He just kept working as a menial worker, masonry worker over at a Grant Memorial Church. He worked there for 3 to 6 months. No, he worked there for 6 months. I'm sorry, despite the language barrier.
Can I stop you really quick?
Yeah.
How does all these fucking crazy people get married?
Yeah, dude, right?
They're
Like John
always
Wayne
married.
Gacy.
They're always married, or they have a long-time girlfriend or something.
Right.
Why?
I
Why is it like? Okay, is it like a cover thing?
maybe.
Every time. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I was just married to him for like 15 years. You never saw him digging a hole in the backyard and wondered why?
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway,
Or
go
numerous
ahead.
holes. No, 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 no.
You know
You're
what I mean?
absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
Always, every story.
Like John Wayne Gacy,
Every
he had a
story.
fucking like clown costume as a partner. I'd be like, red flag. You know what I mean?
What he
I-
didn't do was a clown.
A killer clown
No, he didn't
From
want
outer space.
from outer space.
But
Blood-sucking zombie from
yeah,
outer space. Anyway,
but I just go on.
anyway, so he after that, while he was a menial worker, he quit his job in 2006, I believe, and he became a forklift operator. And then he moved to Edmonton without his wife at first, and then his wife joined him, and then, like I said, it didn't last too long afterwards. And then he acquired several other jobs, here and there. Weeks before the attack, though, weeks before this attack that happened, he was fired from his Walmart job. Everyone who was at his final job says that he seemed normal. Everything was okay. It wasn't too bad. So basically, this led to a series of events that allowed Tim and Tim Mclean and Vincent Lee to basically show up. So this will take us to the point of July 30th, 2008. And I'm sorry for the jumps. It's just that most of the times These jumps are just like them traveling. They're going to another city. It's not really anything big. So in July 30th, 2008, Vince Lee boards the westbound Greyhound Canada bus. This is why I suddenly got sketched out of Greyhounds, right? And he takes a seat next to Tim Mclean, who is 22 at the time and forevermore. Um, one row in front of the bathroom, right? So it's very like it's right in the back. I don't know if
So
you guys have
did they
ever.
know each other?
No, they didn't know each other at all. They're
Okay.
just two
Okay.
random passerbys, everything like that. There had been false reports before that came out after the investigation that Vince Lee was declared schizophrenic. His institutionalization, from what I found, was manic depressive.
Wait, did you say Vince?
Vincent.
Vincent. That okay? That makes more sense. Yep. There's always a Vincent.
Yeah, if
It's
it was
always those
Vince, it'd be
guys.
fine. Like you're just a
Yep.
lead singer for a heavy metal band. But if you're Vincent, you're gonna die.
Yep. Yep. You're either
Like
rich or crazy.
or yeah, or both
Yeah.
sometimes. Um,
I mean, go ahead.
so
Sorry.
no, you're good. So if any of you guys have ever like traveled, right at the back of the bus in the Greyhound bus, there's like a little area for the bathroom, and they have like a little sliding door, and then there's a row that's right by the bathroom that's kind of in this way, and then the row this way. So they were in this row, in the very back, and it was kind of like in a weird time during the day. Like I guess they were in and out of sleep. Both of them were in and out of sleep for a while. Um, so while Tim McLean is like falling asleep, at one point he does doze off. Now a little bit of background between for Tim McLean, normal family. He was just traveling from getting off work. He had to travel. He was going to go see his parents. He was basically his parents were waiting for him at the stop. Everything was going good. Everything was so far. People point this out as a reason why he got the way he got. Then I'll let you guys. I'll fill you guys in what that is. It's because he listened to Insane Clown Posse, and he was a what he claimed to be a juggalo. This was Tim McLean, not Vincent Lee. Vincent Lee apparently was
Now I
more
don't feel
unstable.
as bad.
I still feel bad. You'll see why.
Okay.
So in on that day, after they sit down next to each other, Tim McLean is like dozing off, right? He's like falling in and out of sleep. He leans over and to what passenger says he slams his head, kind of like not difficult, but it like not hard, but like to the point where he like he passed out, like he fell asleep. So he thonked himself pretty well. And as he was laying there, people who were around him were saying that Vincent Lee was looking at him, just like just watching him sleep, essentially, right? Now, the way it's set up, Vincent Lee is on the outside, towards the aisle, and Tim McLean is inside.
So, Isles here. Vincent's here. McLean is not by the aisle.
He's not by
like
the aisle.
he's like by the window.
He's by the window, but he's on this side of the bus. So they have two rows of seats, one on this side, one on this side, and then the aisle in the middle. They were sitting here, and Vincent was on the outside by the aisle, and he was over here by the window.
So
So
he's like trapped.
he's
Like,
in a way
He's
trapped.
stuck. Stuck.
He's in a way trapped. He's stuck. Yeah, he's any of those other like compressed things ever. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Anyway, so he's stuck there, and then all of a sudden, Vincent Lee out of nowhere, he's looking at him, and then he reaches down, and as he reaches down, he pulls out a machete, a pretty big machete,
As you
and
do.
as you do, as everybody does, everybody carries around their machete. Their Greyhound machete. I have one. You know, and then
Sponsored.
right. You know, hey, what is it? The Black Hawk 9000 from Walmart. No, but so he pulls it out and he fucking
Just so you know, the Blackhawk 9000. Sorry, 9100 X comes with a scope.
why would you need a scope for not? Anyway, the point is he pulls it out and he stabs him right here.
Yeah.
He stabs McLean right in the neck, but in between the shoulder blade and the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And as he stabs him, he pulls it out and he keeps stabbing him and stabbing him repeatedly. At this point, a lot of the bus goers are seeing this, and some of them try to come over to Vince to try to stop him. He backs up a few people with the machete while Tim is visibly alive and visibly stuck, and he's waving him back with the machete. He injures two, and then they evacuate the bus.
I think I've heard this story, but I never heard any of that.
So as Tim is trying to like struggle to get out, Vince is already halfway down the bus, getting them all out. He gets them all out pretty much. He pushes them back, and the bus driver, instead of trying to subdue the situation, closes the door. Now, I understand that people are saying, well, what is the bus driver going to do? A bus is equipped with safety features, with safety things. It has multiple knives and a gun on board for the for
Did
the
that bus have that?
that bus did have that.
Okay.
So they had that,
I just
and
want to
their
make sure
and their
before, because
emergency
people,
kit.
you
Right.
know, they're gonna be like, oh, well, maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe
Now, hang on. Now, here is where a lot of people were saying that there's discrepancies. Some people were saying that the kit was complete. Some people were saying that the kit was incomplete. They don't know what was really happening, because when the bus doors opened and they got everybody else out, they got Tim and Vincent Lee out. There was a bunch of shit scattered everywhere. So they don't know if maybe it was complete or maybe it wasn't complete, and they had no option but to help, like to help. But what they did is they closed the door. Now, Tim,
So did the bus driver stay on?
no, the bus driver got off. He was one of the first ones that got off,
Oh, good job, dude.
and he closed the door. And he closed the door while everyone else got out. He finally closed the door. A dude was driving by in a tow truck company. He stopped, armed with a crowbar and a gun. He runs over to the bus, and the bus driver stops him while Tim Mclean is screaming inside the bus. He's alive. Like it. A lot of the
Oh,
reports.
this isn't a. He's already done.
No. The reports are saying that he was dead, but the tow truck driver is like, no, he was alive. I can hear him screaming while I'm trying to get in the bus, and this guy's leading me away. So after multiple stabs, people are looking in, trying to see if they can verbally calm down Vince Lee or Vincent
What are they
Lee.
gonna do?
They're not gonna do anything. They're gonna sit there and be like mortified. I mean, I guess like some people
They're probably yelling at the bus driver, like, dude,
do something. Like I mean,
you
your
have
life
all
is
the
literally in their
authority.
hand. Yeah. Like you could have called the police. You could have done a bunch of other whatever. The point is,
Okay, and it's modern day. Like they have phones. Like they probably were trying to like desperately get someone there. Like it seems like the bus driver did everything but actually what he was supposed to do.
right. And a lot of people kind of blame the bus goers. In a way, I can kind of see their point where they're like, "Hey, you guys could have all dominated over him." I get to a certain extent, but at what point are you risking other people's lives as well? I kind of get that. At
And
the same
you don't
time,
know if he has a gun.
you don't know if he has a gun
You have
or if
no
he has
idea.
other
He
weapons.
just pulled out a machete.
Yeah,
Like you don't know what he has.
the dude pulled out a machete like a Mary Poppins bag out of his pocket, bro. Like you don't know what the fuck else he's got, like you said. So they kind of subdue the guy who's trying to help Tim McLean from the tow truck. They kind of like talk him down. After a few moments of struggling, the screams go silent, and Vince Lee gets up, and they realize that he's holding something in his hand, and it's the head of Tim McLean.
Oh,
He severed his head completely off.
well, I feel bad now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
told you you were
that's
gonna.
not cool.
I told you you were gonna
Like,
feel
I'm
bad.
sorry.
I told you you
That
were gonna
was
feel
really
bad in a
bad.
minute. So he took the head off, and he was showing it to the bus goers as they were like just mortified. Like, what are you gonna do? You're just sitting there like, oh my god, he has a dude's head in his hand, and he's just holding it, and he's just parading it around as blood is splurting everywhere. Unfortunately, it's getting all over the bus. Everyone's saying that Vincent Lee is looking completely stoic, stone faced, no emotion. He kind of like the way they said is that he was yanking it like if you were yanking a branch from your like yard, I guess, and just like from what they
Oh,
were saying it.
almost like he's so like he's stoic but got like the crazy eyes going on.
Yeah, like he's
But he's like he on a mission. Like he's like,
right.
just all right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, like he's more
so
bothered that it's
far.
taking so long to get
And
it off. You know what I mean?
and I almost feel bad with the crazy eyes comment because fuck this guy. Like genuinely, I'm sorry. Like
Oh, hang on. Before you, oh, dude, it gets way worse.
oh, yay.
It gets way worse, and this is where we're gonna see the justice system kind of go left.
Fail. Completely.
So we'll
Apparently.
we'll get there. So after he's holding the head for a while, he goes back down and he starts wriggling the body of Tim and himself. And what people notice is that he's begun to cannibalize pieces of Tim, a few pieces of his liver, a few pieces of his heart, just little things here and there that he's been eating slowly off of him.
I had a horrible joke and I don't want to say it.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Is it the deli meats joke? Please
No,
don't
it's
do
he
that.
wants his power.
Oh my god. That was both racist and insulting to
He
Tim
wants his
McLean.
power.
That was both
I
racist
didn't
and
even mean it as racist. It's bad. I'm sorry. Go on.
but the fact that that culture, you know what, we're not going to go into that. The point is he severed his head and he cannibalized him. So after he
As you
cannibalized him
do.
as you would, right? Like that makes sense. You're going to cannibalize him, right? So he attempts they've been there all night now. It's been like all night. So now
What do
it's
you mean
July
they've been there all
31st.
night?
Say what?
So no one just showed up?
Well, this already happened in like the afternoon. So it wasn't in the morning.
But
Did you notice
where's the cops?
The police?
Yeah.
The main characters.
They haven't showed up yet.
The fuck are they doing?
Hang on.
They gotta arrest someone for weed? Like,
they're technically at this point they're technically on the scene, but they haven't moved in yet. So when they see that,
what do you have to do to get a cop to do his job?
Hang on.
Oh, you didn't have donuts.
Hang on. So there was this also happened, I guess, according to bus driver and a few other people who witnessed it. The police did not enter. What the police excuse was they were informed that the perpetrator had guns and explosives inside.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
So they couldn't go in at all because of the risk of the police and causality and everything like that from everybody else. So they were advised wrong, according to what I read. I mean, obviously, if there's anybody else out there that hears something different, please let me know.
That's really convenient. It's amazing how that keeps happening. But anyway,
it was what was advised, and then they said they alleged that they have 911 recordings of them saying it. I don't have them. I know that they were logged, that there were 911 calls, but I don't know if it was.
I hope on their end there is.
I really do too. So on July 31st, 2008, now we've gone through this pretty much all night. Lee attempts to escape from the bus by breaking through the window, and he is tasered twice and placed in the back of the police cruiser, and he's arrested, thankfully. So now that he's arrested, he's been arrested for some time. March 5th, 2009, we're going to do a jump. Lee, at 40 years old, is found not criminally responsible for McLean's murder, for McLean's brutal attack. A psychiatrist testifies that at the trial, he diagnosed with Lee having schizophrenia of a late stage, and Lee is remanded to a high security mental a mental health facility in Selkirk. I'm gonna give you a minute so you can gather your thoughts on that one. It gets way worse.
Part of that, you're like, okay, I can see that he ate a guy, but I mean, fucking Dahmer didn't.
Jeffrey Dahmer ate like 3 people, and he still got a weight bashed in his face in the courtyard.
But he's white.
But he's like barely white. He's like
counts.
He's like rotisserie white. Anyway, the point is, so on March 5th, yeah, he was found to not be criminally responsible. So he got no sentence from that. On June 3rd, 2010, Lee is granted supervision outdoor walks within his mental facility as voted by a provincial review board. Hang on. It gets better. It gets better, my friend. It gets way better. On June 4th, 2010, a day after the provincial justice minister, Andrew Swan, that way y'all can figure out who it is, Andrew Swan overrules a reviews board decision until security improvements are made at the center. They include training 11 security officers and special constables.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. 2 of the health workers are required to accompany Lee on walk grounds. Not gonna lie, I think he's already been given way too loosey of a goosey.
But at least someone was like, "Hey, let's not let the freaking machete wielding, head cutting off cannibal walk around."
Well, here we go. So on June 2010, Swan phones and writes Federal Justice Minister Rob Nicholson on the concerns for public safety regarding the review board's decision, saying that they're demonstrably unfit order seriously undermines public confidence in the Canadian system of justice. So he's opposed to Lee ever being out. He says that their direct comments and their direct ruling contradicts what's best for the Canadian people, which I agree, and we agree with him. I think I agree with him at least.
He's lucky he's not in a prison cell. He should just be happy at that.
Now, Canada's justice system is more of a joke.
Canada.
In May 29th, 2011, a doctor testifies that Lee is deserving of expanded privileges at Selkirk, including a reduced level of supervision while escorted passes within the facility. He describes Lee as a model patient.
Well,
On July 2011, Lee is allowed passes out of his locked forensic unit to walk on hospital grounds, provided that he is directly supervised by a peace officer. On May 14th, 2012, Lee appears in court for his annual review board hearing. Two major recommendations are made by his treatment team. The first involves giving him general supervision like any other patient at the hospital. The second proposes that he should be allowed to take 30-minute excursions away from the hospital, Selkirk, while accompanied by a peace officer and a nurse. Doctors say those passes could be extended up to 15 minutes per week if there are no incidents to prior progress and continue to make progress. Would you like to hear more, sir?
how many people does he have to fucking eat before you go, hey, maybe you can't be out in public? I'm sorry.
So after that, a year and a half afterwards, he is granted.
Hold on.
Yes.
Just so everyone's aware, that thing is okay. The number I was going for with that is 1. He's at 1. He doesn't get a second chance. He ate a guy's liver and heart. Done. You're done.
That was just the start.
Cool. Go ahead.
sorry. I'm just. We're being specific. That was just the start. You also forgot about the head choppy offy thingy. But
no, I didn't. No,
Well, Canada's system reigns supreme as a year and a half later he was granted not just extended leave, but he was allowed to get another job outside of the facility in the general populace.
Just give him a fucking bus pass.
Hang on. Whoa, hang on. Hang on.
Hey.
A year and a half afterwards, now leading into the 2016-2018 era, he was granted a new identity and released from the mental hospital and from any further criminal prosecution. So now he has a new identity, a new name, and he's out there at a new job doing whatever he wants. And he's free.
Well, I'm not going to fucking Canada.
Yeah, never. For not just because of the political system, but because of this fucker.
Like that's like
that's like nothing. There's no other case like that.
No. The was it the Ken and Barbie serial killers where when they got arrested, they went to prison and he's stuck in prison forever. She got out, was able to change her name and is remarried.
Yeah,
and has kids and shit.
Fucking,
you know what I'm talking about?
Gypsy Rose just did the same thing too. Gypsy Rose Blanchard just did the same thing too.
What the fuck, guys?
Fucking liberals. No, I'm just kidding.
Guys, remember, my eating people number for never getting out in public again is 1. He's at 1. He gets a new name. He gets a new name, probably new social security number, everything, no debt, everything.
He was. You
know what? You're looking tasty. Apparently, I should do that.
Yeah, please don't.
No debt.
Please don't. I'm your co-host. I just brought you this. I just literally told you this a second ago.
No, I want to be that guy, but I'll pay money.
See?
So
I will take your power.
Not only was he released afterwards, shortly afterwards, not was he arrested, but there was allegations that he tried to attack someone else. However, there was no evidence to prove, and no one got attacked. But apparently he was like planning it or something. I don't know. And they caught him, kind of, but there wasn't really evidence to hold him, so they let him go.
What do you mean they let him go?
They let him go. So this is the story of Tim Mclean, and it has an
ending. How I Met Your Mother?
No. This is the story of Tim Mclean, and it has an ending.
Did he die?
Who?
Oh, no.
Did you say if Tim McLean died, I'm sorry,
No,
the
no,
guy who
no,
got
no,
his
no, no,
head
no.
cut off.
No. Lee.
No, he's still alive. I think he's still alive. Yeah, I haven't heard anything
Oh,
up it
we
after
won't. We
that.
don't know because you gave him a new fucking name.
Yeah, I think his name is. I think his new name is like Daniel Wong or something like that. Some weird shit. I'll post it later. But yeah, so it's like some weird shit. But yeah. So if you see that guy, just like punch him in the face. Yeah,
How do like,
and just be like for Mr. Clean. And
dude?
then,
Not even that. How does no one know his new name? Like, oh yeah, don't watch him.
oh no. His new name is out there. His new name is
Oh,
out
okay,
there.
okay,
I personally
okay.
couldn't remember.
Because
That's
I've
my bad.
heard no. I've heard some of those like cases
Yeah.
where they get a new name and then no one knows it. It's all sealed, and then they go get to like live their life when before they were in prison for like killing like
Oh
children.
yeah, I forgot. His records are sealed too. So nobody who hires him has access to see what he did before or anything like that, or any allegations that he was put in. Or
Why
anything like
it's
that.
not fair.
Allegedly, it's not fair. Yeah, according to what they're saying.
I'm all for second chances. He ate someone.
I'm not for second chances. I think he should die.
That's where I'm
No, I
all
get
for
it.
second chances. But then you hear shit like that, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't think he was crazy. I think he had been planning it. I think he wanted it. Now, was he planning it for like a specific person? No. He had he the opportunity presented itself, and he's like, sweet,
Yeah, fuck it. I'll kill someone.
because
Like,
it was. I would be more understanding like, oh, maybe it is because he's crazy if he didn't have the weapon. Like, oh, he used like the Greyhound weapon that was there, the knife or whatever you was talking about.
yeah,
If he used that, I could be like, oh, like this is all opportunity. He's losing it. I
machete,
I I would what?
machete.
Yeah, but
So the difference between a knife is that a
like,
knife is like 4 inches to 6 inches. A machete is like a foot.
sorry, but that's the whole thing. You don't get like, oh, he's crazy. It's like, nah, machete
So right before he boarded the
in Canada.
right before he boarded the bus, a little kid or a kid heard the story, so he reached out to the police, and he said that right before he Vincent got on the bus, he had sold him his laptop that was appraised for $2,500 for $250.
Lee?
Lee had sold the laptop to this kid for two hundred and
Yeah,
fifty dollars.
that's premeditation. He's like, no, I
Right.
don't need it anymore. That's not. Oh, he had a lapse and went crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Unfortunately, they were trying to get information out of there, out of the laptop. They asked the kid for it. I guess the kid like cooperated, but there was really like nothing they could retrieve. Like he had already gone like rewritten a bunch of shit and done a bunch of shit to it.
that doesn't even.
I'm
I
not
don't
pretty
even
sure they
care.
could. I get it, but
Yeah,
they
but
could
I. That shows premeditation.
not to the Canadian justice system. Unfortunately, if it was America,
What
bro,
what do you need?
yeah,
How much more do you need? Like,
they literally caught him in the act.
dude, you're Canada. You hate everything cool. He had a machete. Where are you at?
Machete's
Oh,
pretty
all
cool.
of a sudden your fucking like your dumbass rules with guns and weapons and shit just don't matter anymore because he said he felt sad or his brain didn't work for a second. He ate someone.
Yeah, he kept
Where
saying that.
where were you?
Yep.
Like, you can't have these bullshit laws when for everyone else, but when you have to enact them, you don't.
the the police department that was personally responsible for handling this case, when they released a comment that they said that they were appalled with the way the justice system was being handled, considering not only that they were given so much flack for the wrong information that they were given, because they stood there while the guy died, like, you know what I mean, like they stood back like what were we gonna do, but they were given that information, and that they were appalled at the fact that they're letting someone dangerous to be out on the streets. It's not something that they personally recommend. They understand that the doctor's ruling what they ruled. However, they're saying regarding that, there's no way that wasn't premeditation. Like, why would you eat him?
I told you
Like he premeditated it. He had
to gain his power.
to gain his power. But it's it was a very interesting case, and I know I'd been feeding you a bunch of like missing people, so I thought I'd give you not a great one, but it
No,
was one.
it's still missing people. It's in his stomach.
I mean, missing pieces of people, but the person overall was found.
Well, that was frustrating.
I, did you have any like I guess any questions about this case or anything maybe I
What
missed or
what what am I supposed to question?
I
Like,
don't
hey,
know.
how is he not in prison? Well, we felt bad for him. What about the guy he ate? It seems like you don't give a shit about him.
Yeah. His
Okay,
parents were very frustrated. Were
I
very
make
upset.
jokes. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely angry. I feel genuinely bad. I thought this would be like, oh yeah, no, they got in a scuffle. Like, shit happens on a bus. Okay, it was like a fight and maybe it went wrong. The man was sleeping.
Yeah, he literally was sleeping.
Like, what kind of weak bitch are you?
Yeah.
Like, you waited. You saw he was sleeping. You saw it. It was not, oh, spur of the moment. Spur of the moment is you grab the fucking machete
Yeah.
and you put it through the between the collarbone and his neck while he's like on the phone because you're annoyed and you fucking lose it. That's spur of the moment.
Right.
You don't wait and look at him like, oh, I need to make sure he's still sleeping. Hey, what do you have to do to go to prison there?
Dude,
Like,
there it was crazy. And there's like a lot of video of the witness testimony. I might actually put it on here, or I might have you put it on here, um, somewhere where we're gonna play like a 5 6 second clip, like about 10-second clip about a guy who got off that bus. Like he was literally sitting right in front of these people, and it's shocking, bro. Like the guy's like, dude, like he's pale white, and he's like doing one of those things where when you're nervous, you're jittery, and you don't understand why you're jittery. We're just like, yeah, bro, like we got to do this. Like that's how he is, and he's talking about this, and he's just like rubbing his hair and everything. I'm like, oh, bro, you're like in shock. All right, like it's horrifying. You see these people, you're like, oh my god, like they witnessed literally a decapitation, and a lot of people did nothing. The tow truck driver was pissed. The bus driver, he didn't get fired or anything, but he was reprimanded for not handling the situation better. I don't know what that means, but he uh, he got a lot of flack, but a lot of people were claiming that Greyhound's policy is to not be involved and just leave and vacate the area. If that's the policy, that kind of sucks for Greyhound. Like, why do you have that shitty policy? Like, we're all in a capsule, depending on you guys. Like, but they did what they did. I don't know. I mean, that was very hard to read as a person. It was hard to listen to.
none of that entire situation makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I know I've said that for every thing you said, but it
Yep.
it it makes sense. You're like, okay, okay, piece of shit, does shitty thing, awesome. We get to the justice system where he's supposed to be punished. No real punishment.
But think about it. How does he go from Wuhan Institute of Technology, software engineer, probably pretty good or at least decent in his class to get there? You know what I mean? Doing all that and then degrade to that menial worker and forklift driver and then getting fired from Walmart and then killing someone. Like the degradation, and not saying that forklift drivers or Walmart people or manual labor people are like below software engineers or anything. It's just in the classification of our society, it's said that way as declining,
And there was
which is dumb.
never anything like
Other than him being institutionalized, and as far as I dug, I could only find anything on manic depressive. Now, could that have been a misdiagnosis? Yeah, people are misdiagnosed all the time. Could it have been a misdiagnosis of schizophrenia? Yeah, and it just went untreated for a while. Sure, of course. Um, right now, all the doctors are saying that he's fine as long as he takes his medication.
aren't we all?
Yeah, right. We're all great unless we don't
Yeah.
take our medication.
Here's the difference between me and him. If I don't take my meds, I get sad. If he doesn't take his meds, he eats people.
He cuts off their head and eats people.
That's
But
a little different.
Don't worry, he's a good guy.
yeah, he's a great guy
He's
in
fine,
spirit.
he's fine, yeah.
Dude, like I couldn't even begin to fathom being one of those passengers. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know. That was a weird story for me. I don't know if there's any other questions that you had or anything else that
No,
you
I'm
wanted
just
to.
mad. Like,
I get it. I get it. Like, why would you do that?
what do you have to do? Like,
Apparently, in Canada, you can kill people and chop their head off and eat them, and nothing will happen to
Why
you.
wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I don't know.
Canadian government? No. No.
Human maple bacon honey bacon. I wonder if that's what Vince Lee was thinking, like halfway through that. Like, But what do you really have to do? Like, how many people do you have to like massively shoot to be like, oh, he might go to jail for a few days?
No, that's part of the problem. If he had used a gun, he would be in prison forever. But because he didn't, all of a sudden it changes things.
Because he went all on everybody. Whatever, dude.
No, he's worse. Voorhees never ate him.
That's true. Voorhees didn't eat him.
He just killed him.
What a class act, Voorhees. Just kill him and just move on. Class act. Class act.
Any more parts of your fucking angering story?
No, that's it. I'll have another angering story
Dude,
for you
I'm gonna
next
be mad
week.
for like 2 days. Dude, the next time I get a freaking traffic ticket, the cop's gonna come over and be like, "Are you kidding? I didn't eat anyone.
I didn't even eat anybody." And he's gonna be like, "You're gonna go to jail. Step out of the vehicle." No context.
Oh, that's suspicious.
Tyler's just getting a ticket. I didn't even eat anybody. What? Send another unit.
Just
Hang on. Step out of the vehicle.
Watch Walking the Weird. You'll understand.
Subscribe to my podcast, bro. Come on.
Like,
let's go.
That is. Oh my god. Well, all right. Let's wrap it up here because I'm just gonna walk and
we can literally just get angry and just go on all day. I love you.
Well, I guess this is it.
This is it.
We'll see you next time. We will see you on the road.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.